My biggest piece of advice for someone moving to Florida. Well, I lived in New Jersey for most of my life, and in the past couple years, I moved to Florida. And the number one piece of advice I would give you if you're moving to Florida or thinking of moving to Florida is take your yearly vacation in August or September. Because in Florida, the height of the summer is not June, July, it's late August and into September. That's when the humidity, the heat is at its peak, and it is built up over the summer months, and it's frustrating because it feels like it's never going to end, the suffocating humidity. Take your vacation in August or September. August and September is also the height of hurricane season. Okay. So if you are single, obviously plan on late August into September. If you have a family, maybe your child is starting school in September, you can't take it. Try to take it late August and try to get away from the state. When you take your vacation, get out of the state. I love Florida. In my opinion, I think Florida is the best state in the entire country to live in if you can obtain a job here. Okay. I live here for a reason. Now, I'm still very nomadic, okay, but I don't have to be in Florida, but I choose to be in Florida. So that, by evidence itself, shows that I believe in Florida. But like everything in life, there are pros and there are cons. The con of Florida is that it gets very hot and humid and hurricane season. That's the biggest con. And the height of that, the worst of that, is in August and September. And that's when you feel like it's never going to end. Like that's when people bail out of things in life, when they feel like it's never ending. But Florida does have an endless summer slogan, which I like. But in spring and in fall and in the winter, the humidity dissipates and it's very enjoyable weather, great weather. At the height of the summer, specifically again, August and September, I'm repeating that because I want it to be in your mind, that if you can take vacations and you can get out of the state and go up north or something like that for whether it's a week, 2 weeks, or even longer would be great. If you have the ability to work remotely, I would say get out of the state for about a month. If you only had a 2-week vacation each year with your job, take that then. This will help refresh you and recharge you to come back down to Florida. You may not, when you come back from your vacation, hurricane season may not be over. The humidity, the height of it may not be done, but you will have a relief that you can deal with it for another couple of weeks until you get into the winter months in October and November. November, definitely, it's great. Once you get from November all the way up to May, humidity and storms are no problem. Once you get from May till October, that's the height of what they call rainy season because you're in a tropical environment. And August and September are the worst of that season. But again, everything has pros and cons. And in my opinion, and what I'm practicing, what I preach, I live in Florida most of the year. And so by evidence of that, I think it has more pros than cons. Okay. And because if you live up north or if you live in a state that has snow, you're going to deal with snowstorms. You're going to deal with, so you have to choose what you want in life. But don't let the negatives outweigh the positives. Everyone's an individual, so you'll have to reflect on that for your life and for your family and for yourself. So I think that's great advice. I really do. You know, I think Florida is worth moving to. I think it's worth uprooting your life. I think it's worth leaving friends and family. Not that you're trying to hurt them, and I don't say that meanly, but you have to do what's best for you in your life, okay? Why? Because that's your job as an adult, to live your best life, okay? Not to stay around family members or friends or an environment that just you're comfortable with, you don't really spend time with anyone else, and you're unhappy, you're miserable, you're depressed. You have to do what's best for you, and those who love you appreciate that. And when you get here, and so you don't become disillusioned, is that there is negative about living in Florida. Like hopefully you're researching before you come like I did. And what you will experience, one of the biggest negatives is the weather, the storms, and the tough humidity in August and September. So you get out of the state for a couple weeks or even a couple months would be great, but I know a lot of people don't have that flexibility with their job. Then at least you have a relief valve. And at least you have a greater perspective that, you know what? Florida's got a little bit of a tough period during the course of the year at this time, but the majority of the time, the majority of pros versus cons outweigh it. And I love Florida. And I think that Florida is a great place to live and even to raise a family and to have a great life. You know, there's bad parts about Florida geographically, different towns. You'll have to do that research. That's not what this video is for. However, I do have a playlist on my channel about moving to Florida. Check that out. I think there's some good tips in there that'll help you. And subscribe to the channel if you're not. But outside of that, guys, that's the main thing that I want to share with you. And I think that will help you in your journey. If this video helped you, I appreciate if you take the time to click that thumbs up button. Share the video. Again, subscribe if you're not. Check out the playlist. And I will see you in the next one. Peace and love.